Do you want to know how to buy an investment property in New Zealand right now? Well, in this video we'll go over two main things you need to know to be able to buy a rental property. And in this current housing boom in New Zealand, this has made some people lots of money, and this information could very well be valuable to you in the future. Hi, it's Gifford here and welcome to my channel where I share my personal finance, property investing and weekly stock market videos to give you ideas on how to make money too. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button and give us a like on the video to help support the channel. With that said, let's get into it. Buying an investment property has been the biggest and best financial decision I've ever made. My investment property alone has gained $100,000 in the last 12 months, which has added to my net wealth. And countrywide, the houses have doubled in price. That's why if you stick to the end of the video, I'll also give some valuable tips to know before buying an investment property that could save you lots of money, or in this case, avoid losing lots of money. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a real estate agent, financial advisor or mortgage broker. This is my own opinion and I just try many things to make money. To buy a rental property, you need high capital, which means you already need to have money. One way to afford this is to have a high paying job. For those that don't, like myself, use our first home which has equity to then leverage into getting another loan for the rental. This strategy requires you to have already paid off some of your mortgage, but we'll go over the numbers later. Now for the bank loan requirements. The number one requirement is for a deposit or down payment on the investment property, and the number two requirement is that you can service the mortgage payments. First, let's tackle the investment property deposit. Right now in 2021, you need to have 40% of the property purchase price you intend to buy as an investment property. Most people don't have this kind of money just sitting in the bank. That is why most people will use leverage by using the existing home, which they've already owned for many years, to be able to borrow against. This is normally the only way the average person can borrow money, especially if you're in the lower to middle household income. Often this takes people more than 10 years to build up. Now that's out of the way, some calculations and percentages. To be able to qualify for a basic home loan approval, you need approximately 20% of equity in the house you live in and own, and require 40% of equity in the rental property you want to buy. Basically, you need 30% of the equity or cash across those two houses. So now let's do an example and put some numbers together as you follow along. Both houses are valued at $500,000 each and a total of $1 million. You will need to have $300,000 in total, $100K in your own house with a mortgage of $400,000 remaining, and $200,000 in the investment property with $300K mortgage. To simplify, the bank treats this as one big loan. The important thing here is you meet the criteria, and how the loan is divided up can be sorted out later. Now if that's not all, we have a second requirement to meet, which is affordability, and this is the hardest one out of the two, especially for people like me in the lower salary bracket. The bank wants to make sure that you can afford to still live while having this debt. Your total mortgage repayments can only be 30 to 35% of your total household income. So when we calculate this, it will get complicated, but I will try to break it down into simple steps. But before we get there, here are some assumptions we made. The house you own an investment property is a total of $1 million. You have $300,000 as a deposit, which can be from your home equity that we talked about before. The loan is for 30 years. In this mortgage calculator, link in the description below, the loan is $700,000, assuming 3% for the entire loan, which we know will change over time. And this is for a 30-year term or 360 months. Gives us a total mortgage repayment of $681 every week. From this calculation, we can then work backwards to find the total household income needed to get this loan. Since $681 can only be 30% of the household income, to do this, we then divided $681 by 0.3, which gives us $2,270 needed to get this loan. This is a lot of money each week. However, since we are buying an investment property, and when you rent out that property, it creates an income. That rental income can then be added towards your total household income to get you that bank loan. So there you have it. That's what you need to buy an investment property right now in New Zealand. Just a reminder that these numbers are just an example. When you're serious about buying a rental property, you'll need to discuss in depth about your financial situation as you work closely with a mortgage broker. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll try to get an answer to you. As I mentioned at the start of the video, some valuable money saving tips I learned is only buying an investment property if the numbers make sense for your situation. So this means the actual rental property makes you money. It covers the cost of the mortgage, payments, rates, insurance, and that you're not subsidizing someone else's life. Believe it or not, I've seen this happen. People buy property which they must make extra payments on, hoping that it will eventually go up in value over time. But until then, you're wasting extra money. You can actually find both, so be wise. The biggest lesson that I've learned when buying my rental property, the most important thing you're looking for is the highest rental yield. The rental yield percentage will tell you if the property generates cash flow. This is for another video, but quickly, the formula for this is the weekly rent multiplied by 52 weeks. Divided by the house purchase price multiplied by 100%. Anything over 7 is what you're after. Anything less than that, it's getting close to just breaking even every week. But one of the biggest issues you'll face is that these properties will get snapped up by buyers who have connections with real estate agents, which means you're unlikely to find the best property without good connections. Now, if you're interested in property investing but haven't purchased your first home yet, I highly recommend clicking on the video at the end of this video on how to do just that. Hit subscribe, and if you want to hear more from me midweek, I'm also on Instagram. With that said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.